So good day, everyone. Here we had to take care of some business up here with one of our rice fields that we had leased. We had to go to New Korea this morning, take care of some business with that, the rice field. And then we came on into town, the big town, and town of Tagum, to take care of our truck and to do some shopping for our Sari store. But we're here right now at the air conditioner place because our air conditioner on the truck stopped working. Come to find out, the evaporator was leaking, and it wasn't even the right evaporator that went with the Mitsubishi. And there's a couple of other problems too. One, the seals was leaking and all the Freon had leaked out. So they had to repair it and fix it. So we'll find out what the damages are financially here in a little bit. But anyway, they are working on it. So we're waiting. It's been 3 or 4 hours now that they've been working on it. We finished our shopping for the Sari store. Hopefully they'll be getting it ready and put back together. Running some tests on the air conditioner now. They got everything cleaned up and almost ready to put back together so we can be on our way. Hopefully we'll be heading back home before it gets too late. Good evening, everyone. We finally made it home. It is about 9:30 in the evening. We left about 9 o'clock this morning, and we just got back. We had to take care of some business in New Korea, and then with our rice field that we leased. I didn't mention this a little earlier in the part of the video, but I wanted to add it now. We had leased a rice field, a half a hectare, about 2 years ago, and it was very small, but according to the information we received and the owners, that they harvested around 45 sacks of hugas, or just rice, before it was dried and milled. Every harvest. So like 3 or 4 times a year they would harvest about 45 sacks. When we first leased the property, the rice field, we done pretty good. We got around 38 to 42, I think it was, the first time. And the second time was about in the mid-30s as well. But then this last year was absolutely horrible. We were hit with pests, and so our harvest went down to like 26 sacks, and so that was a big cut. And then we ended up the next harvest got damaged by the flood. I mean, there was a huge flood up in Asuncion, New Korea, and everything, even the houses were underwater. Maybe I can post a picture or a video what it looked like. And it lasted for a couple weeks, and that was enough to damage a lot of the rice. Then shortly thereafter, we couldn't plant again because it was a drought. So we had to wait a few months before we can do another planting. By the time we did plant, it was around June or July of this past year, of this year. And well, anyway, it was still pretty drought. And if you know anything about rice, you have to flood the area and you have to plant your seeds and everything. So that's what it grows. By the time you harvest, the ground is dry, but it was dry the whole entire time. It really didn't have enough water to help the rice grow. So when we harvested just a few weeks ago, we only harvested, I think it was 9 sacks of rice. And so, just to help you explain how things work, you give so much money for the tractor to come in to plow the fields, then someone who maintains it, which we were the one responsible for maintaining the property, but it was my wife's uncle who did the actual labor and work. And for that we give a portion of the rice harvest each time to him, because he maintained it. So he got like 25%, I think it was. And then you would pay the harvester, which is the machine that goes and harvests the rice. So he got so much percentage. I think it was like 12% that he gets of the rice harvest. And so then you got individuals that help out throughout that time period as well. So all this incorporated into it goes into the factor of the amount of profit you get. So we invest quite a bit of money each time, and the harvest kept getting little and little. And this last time it was a complete failure. A lot of people were very upset. And I know this happens from time to time, and that's just the nature of farming. Okay, it happens. But for us, we decided to not renew our lease this time because the money that we had could be better used for our farm and the stuff that we were doing on our farm. So we decided to not renew the lease, and so the people had to get financing, and it took a little while, and we got our money back. So we had to go take care of that this morning and go to the Barangay Hall and cancel out the lease. I mean, it was already fulfilled. The lease was already ended, but we had to sign everything over, give back the deed, and get our money back, which was not an issue. It was pretty easy peasy. But anyway, we had trouble with our car, with the air conditioner, so we decided to go on into town, which was a little bit in the other direction, back to Tagum, to get our car worked on. And you've seen in the video earlier. So anyway, we got done with that. And then the damage is around 9,700 pesos, which is about $175, maybe $180, depending on the exchange. It's not too bad for what they've done. But that is an added expense for being here. So all this factored in. You have to really watch your P's and Q's with your money, because these things are unexpected and it can always take away some of your earnings that you make. And having a business here in the Philippines is not the same as having business in the United States. The return on businesses here is very low compared to that in America. But your overhead here is a lot lower than in America. Just give you an example, planting all the rice fields, that rice field, this last time was like 20,000 pesos, about $500. And that was including the tractor, the fertilizer, the seeds, and the maintenance and everything else. So it was around 20,000 pesos. But when we only got 9 sacks, which our portion, after we gave it all to the tractor, to the harvester, to the person who maintained it, they each got a sack apiece. So we ended up with 7 ourselves. But by the time we dried it, it was so much trash inside the rice. And by the time we dried it and collected it, we only ended up with 165 kilos. So that's roughly about 3 sacks of dried rice ready for selling. And right now, it can sell 55 pesos per kilo is what rice sells for. And because it wasn't the best of the rice, we take a hit on that. So by the time it's all said and done, you only make a few thousand pesos. And it did not even come close to making up for what we lost. But anyway, just wanted to give you the good, bad, and ugly of doing businesses here in the Philippines. And you have to take it with a grain of salt. Not everything turns out to be the way you want. You learn from your mistakes. And to be honest with you, rice is not the way that we want to go. There's too much risks, too many things, too many issues that go into it. And it's not our rice field. We're leasing it. But our farm is our farm. And so we'd rather invest long term for that, because our projects there can last a lifetime. So that's why we're trying to reinvest our other investments into our farm. So this will give you a little bit of information. So thank you for watching. As always, like and subscribe. If you are here in the Philippines, or you are in the United States, or wherever, and you have business ventures that failed, or successes, share. If you have some pointers, we're welcome to any ideas or suggestions. We're trying our best to make some type of income here, because I don't have a retirement yet. I'm only 54. I don't get my retirement in the United States until I'm 62. So we're trying our best to make some type of income here. So I'll get into a little bit more in the future videos about our store and other parts of our farm, and maybe give you a little bit more feedback, or a little bit more background information, what's going on. But there again, please share. I'd like to interact with you, and if you have any positive energy you want to pass my way, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, but as always, turn on the notifications so you'll be notified when we come up with a new video, and please share. It's free, but you have to help my channel. So thank you again. I hope you guys have a good night. And as always, life is short. Make the best of it.